it's me again, and it's the 5th of January again. This is a summary of my summary that I just made. And my intention is just to really get across the point, in a nutshell. So I've written it down. This explains what's happening on planet Earth right now. Okay. So we are multidimensional beings of light, and we have been degraded for whatever reason from a minimum of 12 strands of DNA being switched on to two. Okay, that's what's going on. We have been kind of trapped, okay, whether we created the trap or it was thrust upon us doesn't matter, through our planned and orchestrated ignorance in the lower frequency realms, the lower three chakras, if you will. So, what do I mean? So there is a frequency bandwidth which is infinite, and we are supposed to be able to experience this much, but we're actually only experiencing about that much. Although we are starting to, expand our awareness and our consciousness is starting to connect with little tendrils to other dimensional kind of spaces. It's very, very interesting and hard to explain. But basically, our DNA is being switched back on. And so we've been kind of living in the lower three chakras, which are kind of to me the earth chakras. And then you have your higher chakras, right? Which is your throat, your pineal, and your crown. And the heart is the bridge. I've spoken about this before. And so by entering the heart, by being in the heart, by operating from the heart and activating the pineal and allowing a connection to the divine is how we're going to bring in the divine light. And we're going to anchor ourselves through our root chakra, our sacral and solar plexus. And the heart is taking all the tension. The heart is taking all the hits. And that's why you have to just keep keeping your heart open and being humble and understanding that the only way we get through this is by embodying those high vibrational frequencies to be in, the realm, because that resonates out and absolutely um, shifts the collective frequency, even if it's just a little bit, doesn't matter. It's happening. So our DNA is being slowly switched back on, right? If you want it to be, so that we can perceive more dimensions, particularly the higher ones that we have been kind of had a veil put in the way so that we haven't been able to. Although, I look back and I know that I've been remembering how things were meant to be and always had this feeling like, why are things like this? It's not supposed to be this way. Anyway, so our mission now is to consciously reconnect to our higher self, our soul, which waits to reunite and to be embodied in this vessel at this time. Okay. And then all the good stuff can happen because all the good stuff will be switched on because the soul knows how to operate everything because your soul is already, doing the breathing and the liver and the kidneys and all the different things and getting everything prepared for you to go to the bathroom every morning. Your soul is doing all of that. Amazing, isn't it? That you're alive and wandering around and you're not even consciously doing any of it. So, and then you've got to think about the unconscious actions that we take, which is where our vessel gets taken over by the lower self. All right. Angel, demon, which one are we going to feed? So the soul wants to come into the vessel to create the rainbow bridge between the old reality of the limited 3D death, destruction, reincarnation, trapped in the prison frequency planet doom spiral of never-ending, ugh, or by connecting to source, a superhighway to infinite source energy that never runs out, never gets old. It's just a continual expansion. I mean, there's no comparison. We've been just going round and round on Earth like a little hamster wheel for literally millions of years. And now we have the opportunity to expand and go out, which is so completely different. And it is going to kind of feel weird and look weird. And those of us who are calling ourselves pioneers in the new Earth, there is no religious connotations to that or associations. It's just we're creating a new Earth, a new reality, Gaia, whatever you want to call it. Um, yeah, our job, sorry, I just let that trail off there. Yeah, so we are the rainbow bridge to anchor the way between the old and the new realities. And our job is right now, before it all manifests and clicks into place through the solar flares and the ramping up of the frequencies, our job is to actually just hold the visions of this perfect earth, this original Garden of Eden, which doesn't mean that you're literally just in the jungle or whatever, you know. We can have all the amazing things that we've got. It's just that we're going to get rid of all the crap that is not conducive to human evolution, the human angelic evolution. We're going back to the future, which makes complete sense because we were in the future and we've basically got shafted and you know, and kind of dragged backwards. I don't even know how many centuries. And here we are now trying to reconnect to the timeline where we were in the future. And I think some people remember, or they still have the consciousness of that future timeline that they were in when we suddenly got, I don't know, Philadelphia experiment, something type of thing happened with the floods, the mud floods, and the Tartarian, all that. It's all real. It's all happened. It's weird, weird stuff when you look at the architecture and you look at the lies in our history. Actually, a correction in the video before, I said, all our history is true. I didn't mean the fake history. I mean things like, you know, Egypt, Atlantis, and stuff like that, and Arthur and all that. So our job is to hold the vision of this future reality that we got kind of shafted out of and anchor in the positive, higher future timeline, or the one we were on, that will bring us back into balance in the earth realm, which means kind of re-entering the golden age. Okay, we've got all the planets have aligned, the sun's doing its thing. We've got this massive disclosure happening. I have these kind of conversations with so many people I talk to who are doing this work, and I listen to tons of people, and then I'm trying to do, you know, express the message in my way to see, you know, if anyone resonates. So that's what we're doing. We're remembering, and we are remembering whilst we're here, whilst the other side, in its desperation not to finally lose all control, is just throwing so much mud onto the veil. It's just insane. It's ridiculous. So it is chaos. We've also got multiple timelines coming and going, and there's all sorts of things going on. And by you focusing on the positive vision of a positive timeline, whichever way you want to do it, whether you do it through the Q disclosure, Great Awakening, or you just go into your own little realm, it's all going to end up at the same place anyway. We are holding and remembering that frequency so that it doesn't get lost in amidst all the shizzle. Okay, that's what's happening on the planet. It's literally a rebalancing of the negatively charged polarity of the planet. And, you know, there's pole shifts happening. There's souls exiting because they don't really want to live in a positive, bright, shiny reality. Our frequency is too different, shall we say. So, I'll talk more after about the split, okay? But that's kind of it. It's literally a spiritual battle within. Do the right thing. We're not here to, you know, acquire things. We're not going to be judged on what we've done or what we have or what job how far up the ladder we climbed in our job. We're only going to be judged on how we treated other life forms on the planet. That's it. Did you treat others the way that you would wish to be treated? Remembering to see you in others at the heart level. We're all connected. We all want the same things. And then people, when they don't get it, and it's rejection after rejection after rejection, disappointment, betrayal, loss of trust. When this happens to these children in the homes that get passed around, or just to anyone really, single mothers when they've left school, and it all just the council get involved and everything just turns ugh. You know, it's just not surprising that people become angry and then the demonic frequencies take hold and it just becomes all about anger and blame and judgment and self-hate and the self-hate and the shame and the guilt ultimately comes because we're not listening to our higher self. Because if we did, everything would just suddenly be easy. It's only because we have resistance to the higher self that we feel this dis-ease. Because once you completely surrender, and there is no other choice for me, things just become different. That urgent anxiety, butterflies in the solar plexus, that fear, that loose tube that you're being sucked dry through, it starts to close up. You're able to take a breath and remember who you are and where you are and put that protection around you. You're able to remember that God is real. None of this is fake. None of this is an illusion. It's all real. It's not even a miracle. The miracle is that we've survived the fake reality that we've been in for so long. Anyway, I just wanted to add that because I felt like my last video was a little bit rambling and I just really want to get to the point because the whole point is it's all about you, me, us, and that's it. And remembering who we are and remembering how to orchestrate the matrix so that we're creating the reality that we want and not an absolute load of nonsense that other people want. Capiche? All right. Speak to you later.